Recording.
Well, all right. Welcome, Carlise. Thank you for coming in today. Um, I know you might not necessarily want to be here. I know it was, your parents' suggestion for you to come in to see me today, but I am glad that you're here. So I just want to talk to you about some different things. I want to get some information from you. I really want to hear, your story. I really want to know what's going on with you and really what brought you here today.
Really? This is
So
not happening. Like, are you kidding?
Sorry, the video just paused for like 5 minutes. You were frozen. So do I need to like stop, start over,
No, you can just start right now.
just keep going?
Yep,
Okay,
just keep going.
all right. So tell me, what brings you in today?
I'm here because my parents wanted me to come here.
Okay. Well, did they give a reason why they felt like this would be beneficial for you to come here?
I mean, I got some court stuff coming up, and so I don't know, maybe they just thought it would be good for me to come before I got to court because I've been here before. It's just it ain't my fault that I'm here, but something happened at school and now I got to go to court for it, and they just thought it'd be a good idea for me to start coming back and talking to somebody. I guess for some reason it didn't help the first time, so I don't know why they want me to come back.
Okay. Okay. So you said, you have been here before, but it didn't really help. So did you just not have a good connection with your counselor? What happened the first go around?
um I mean, I didn't really like the counselor that much anyway. I mean, I obviously didn't want to go, but I didn't really like them anyway. So
Hmm. What do you think that, since this isn't your first time, it's not your first rodeo coming into counseling, what do you think that would be helpful for you this time?
um I mean, I don't really know right now because I just know I got better things that I could be doing. So right now I don't really even know because
Okay.
I don't know you either. So
Okay. Well, I appreciate your honesty. Yeah, we don't really know each other that well. So I want to be able to change that. I want to get to know you a little bit. Um, I mean, let's just start with some icebreakers. Um, if I were to ask you, if you became president, let's say you became president, what do you think you would change and why? What would you do?
what is what if I was president? What would I
Yeah,
do?
this is just a hypothetical situation. It's just a fun, like, just a little icebreaker.
Okay, so what was the question?
So pretend like you became president of the United States. What do you think you would change, or what would you do differently?
Um, I don't know. I probably would have so I would only have to go to school half days.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I don't want to be at school all day.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a commitment to have to be in school every single day for, 6 or 7 hours out of the day. It's Yeah, it takes up a majority of your day. So I understand that it's not everyone's favorite thing to get up and go to school every day. Um, you know what? If you had the perfect day, what would that look like?
Oh, the perfect day for me would be I can sleep as long as I want to.
Okay.
So I don't have to get up early. And then I would get up and get something to eat. Maybe go out and get something to eat with some friends or something, and maybe go to the mall and go shopping.
Okay.
Go to the movies, maybe just
Okay.
whatever I wanted to do that day.
Okay. Yeah. So, you want to be in charge of your life is what I'm hearing. Your friends are important to you. You like to go out and do activities and everything. So, do you have
I wouldn't say that my friends is that important to me, but I don't want to go by myself. So,
okay. So let's talk about your friends real quick. You know, how are your relationships with them? Are these the same friends that you go to school with, or?
some of them are, but I usually have like friends that's outside of school because I just don't. I mean, I really don't trust people to be friends, so I just hang out with some people while I'm at school, and then some people outside of school.
Okay. Tell me about school. Like, you know, I know you mentioned before one of the reasons you're here is because an incident that happened at school. Are you willing to talk about that incident? What happened?
I mean, this girl said something to me, and she was talking crazy, so I popped her. And when I popped her, she fell back and hit her head on something, which caused her to have to go to the hospital. So now it's all of this, and she all hurt, and they press charges. So that's why I have the court thing coming up and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it seems like a normal reaction. Like if someone's disrespecting you or saying something that, is not vibing with you or just whatever makes you angry and upset, like it's probably a natural reaction to just want to fight back or, you know what I mean? Like someone says something to me, I'm going to defend my own and no one's going to talk to me that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, girls be trying me. They just think that I ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then the teacher had to jump in and say something. So, I pushed the teacher. So that was a thing because now I got to get kicked out of school for not only hitting this girl, but pushing the teacher. But this teacher just get on my nerves.
Yeah.
So they always got something to say and then always sticking their nose and stuff. So
you got kicked out or you got suspended or what?
I got suspended from school. They got to determine if it's going to be expelled, and then I got to go to court too. So it's like all of this
Okay.
unnecessary stuff when all she had to do was be quiet.
Yeah. Well, that's the hard part about it is, going through life, like we're never going to be able to control what other people are going to say to us, about us, or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like that's out of our control. But what
I'm going through all of this because of her and her mouth. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It's all her mouth.
Right. Well, what was your role in the situation?
I popped her because I pushed the teacher away to get away from me because she was talking. So
yeah,
that was my role in it. But to me, I'm just defending myself.
Right. Right. Well, even though, you were just defending yourself and she was in the wrong, like you clearly recognizing that your behavior, which happened to be like popping her, hitting her, that also led to consequences for you. So now you're dealing with being suspended from school and like with the teacher getting involved, and now we've got a court case coming up, and how are you feeling about all this?
I mean, I'm irritated and frustrated because again, it just wasn't my fault. She just shouldn't have been talking. And if I had to defend myself, then I don't see that as being something that was my fault. So I'm just irritated that now we got to go through all of this stuff. Now I might be kicked out of school. I'm probably more than likely will be kicked out of school again.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what's going to happen with the court stuff. I might end up back in juvie. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you feel like you would be able to defend yourself in another way? Like, so she came at you with words and you came back with actions. Do you feel like you would ever be able to defend yourself, like with just talking to someone?
I mean, not really. I said something to her. I told her to keep her mouth shut, and she just kept talking because that's just, like I said, people be trying me. So they think that they can just talk and say stuff. And I don't know, because I tried that and it didn't work, which is why I had to pop her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely can see how this is affecting you, and I mean, it's not a good situation to be in for anyone, really. And I want you to be able to still defend yourself and to still feel respected and everything, but also not get to a point where you have to have all these consequences. You know what I mean? I want you to be able to have the best outcome for you. But anyways, so let's talk about like at home. You have your parents. Do you have any siblings at home?
Yeah, I got a little sister. She like two years younger than me.
Okay. So do you like at home do you ever feel, are there situations where you ever feel like disrespected or like people just come at you the wrong way or?
I mean, that's all the time because, like I said, people always trying me. So my grandmother lived with us. She always trying me. My mom, she always just nagging and, talking stuff back. And then, my sister, she don't really say a whole lot because I just think she really scared of me or whatever. But, people just always trying me. So, yeah, I get that from home too. My dad, he kind of in and out whenever he feel like it. So he don't have nothing to say. Yeah. He can't say nothing to me.
Okay. So whenever you feel like people are trying you at home, like your mom or whoever, your grandma, if they're nagging you, like do you act out with them? Like do you try to fight them or?
I mean, if my grandma say something to me, my grandmother, she pick on me the most. Like she'll say something, so I say something back.
Yeah.
She'll, and then she just keep picking, just, constantly messing with me. She want me to come at her and do something. So yeah, I've pushed her before. I've grabbed her before. I've put, knives on her before, but that was all on her. Cause if she wasn't nagging and picking at me all the time, then that wouldn't happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, I come in and I don't say nothing to nobody. So why are you picking with me?
Yeah. Well, what happens at home whenever that goes down? Like are there any consequences or like what happens with that situation?
Consequences. Oh, she just always called the PO or she always will call the police. My mom is always at work, so she's never really there to even see what happens or whatever. So she really don't know. But it's always, my grandmother's always just picking. And I'm not about that. So she just need to quit.
Yeah. And it sounds like she doesn't really know how to deal with it. So she just kind of, calls police or whoever, and your parents aren't really dealing with it because they're not really there. But
nope, it's like they argue all the time. And then when I call my mom, be like, look, this is what Granny is doing. She just tried to tell me just to ignore her and just go in my room and ignore her for now. And I try that, but then here she come picking on me in the room, or whatever. So I just get frustrated and I blow up.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like she's just really intrusive into your personal space and everything, and that, you guys haven't really set those clear like boundaries for, I mean, you might need your own personal space, like you might need whatever, and it sounds like sometimes that's not really respected at home.
No, she don't respect nobody.
Yeah.
I know she don't respect me because she don't do that to my sister, but my sister don't really say nothing anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what would you like to see happen, like with your family relationships or with your grandma? I mean, what do you want? Like a good relationship with her? Do you want, you know what I mean?
I mean, like right now, half the time I don't even want to be around her just because of the way that she is and how she does me. But I mean, I would like for, to be able to talk to her and, help her and do things with her. But she just get on my nerves so much right now that I don't even be wanting to be at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't either. If I was in your situation, I probably wouldn't want to deal with all that either. So I can definitely see where you're coming from. Another part, so as we're talking, I'm kind of switching roles a little bit, but I'm gonna also be asking you some different questions just to get a little more history, a little bit more about you, so that I can better figure out how to best work with you, how to best help you so we can come up with some goals and what we would like to see happen in the future. So I'm going to go through a couple different areas. And some of the questions that I might ask, could be a little bit personal. So if you don't feel comfortable answering or anything, just let me know that. And that's fine. We don't have to talk about that. Does that sound okay for you?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So let's see. A little bit about your medical history. Have you ever been referred for a psychiatric evaluation?
Yep.
Okay. When was that?
Shoot, I don't know. Probably about a year ago, maybe. I know they referred me, and I think I went, but I don't know what happened. I just went.
Okay. You don't remember? You don't know kind of what came of that?
Nope.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
I didn't really care because I didn't need it anyway. They just referring me to all of these places and want me to go talk to all of these people, and I ain't trying to do all of that.
Okay. Let's see. Well, what are some things that you do enjoy doing? What's something that you like to do?
I just like to chill. I like to, hang out and, go out and eat or whatever, I just like to chill.
Mm-hmm. What are there anything that you like to do, any activities or interests you have that you feel like helps you whenever you're dealing with people or dealing with situations like this?
I mean, not specifically like when stuff happened with my grandma, I just leave, like, because if I don't leave, I'm gonna hurt her. So I just leave and take off walking somewhere.
Okay. Well,
So
I mean, that even takes strength right there. It's like, you're recognizing I'm about to blow up. I'm angry and I'm about to get out of here before I do something. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it takes strength to recognize that and then walk away from the situation, because, I mean, you could just as easily fight her or anything like, the girl at school or whatever. But, I mean, it definitely takes strength to walk away too. And if that's what you need to do, then, I mean,
yeah, them girls at school though, you can't walk away from them. You got to let them know because they just gonna keep on coming at you every day. And once you put one of them down, then the rest of them kind of stay back. So,
yeah.
I mean, I really don't want to hurt my grandma, so I have to leave so I don't hurt her.
Right. At
Because she
school,
make you want to hurt her.
right. And at school, it sounds like you feel the need to just kind of assert that dominance. Like you got to show people, like you're like the boss, you're the queen bee. Like don't mess with me. Is kind of what it sounds like.
That's pretty much what it is. Because they like to try me.
Yeah. School is hard. People are hard to deal with. Like
That's why I don't want to be there all day. That's just crazy. You got to spend your whole day at school.
yeah. So, I mean, I can't change that fact. Like, neither one of us can change the fact that, you have to be in school every day. But, I mean, maybe we can work on changing the fact of how you are at school, like how your experience is. You know what I mean? Like, I would like for it not to be a negative experience every single day because that gets tiring. It's frustrating to go in every single day and have to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm gonna be suspended, so I ain't gonna have to go in. They might expel me, so I might have to go to a whole nother school.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, I got sidetracked by talking about that, but let me go back to some of this, the medical part. Are you taking any current medications right now?
I don't know, I take something. I don't know what it is though. My mom has the medication bottles, but I take something every day.
Okay. So, do you know what it's supposed to help with or what it's for?
It's supposed to help with like anxiety or something.
Okay.
I think they said one was for anxiety, and then one was I don't even know what the other one was for.
Okay. Is it okay if I, just talk to your mom about that so I can get that information from her?
But I thought you was gonna talk to her anyway.
Oh yeah, we will. I know we had like an initial meeting with your parents, but yeah, I'll follow up with them. But just so whatever we say in our sessions, it's gonna stay right here, unless it's something that unless you're telling me that you are about to like go seriously hurt somebody, unless you're telling me you're gonna hurt yourself, um, and if there's anything I feel like I do need to talk to your parents about, I'm going to discuss that with you first. I'm not just going to go talk to your parents. Like, I'm working with you. You know what I mean? So I'm not, even though your parents are involved and I think they're an important part of this process, I'm working with you. So I just want you to be aware of that and to know that, what we say is going to stay between us. And if I feel like I need to talk to them about something, like I said, I'll talk to you first.
Mm.
How do you feel about that?
Okay.
All right.
That's cool.
So you talked about taking a medication that helps with anxiety. What does that mean to you? Like anxiety, how?
I don't know if it's supposed to help like when I get really mad, and it's supposed to help me calm down easier, quicker. I don't know what it is. They just said that they thought I needed it. So
Okay. Okay. So I know you've expressed like feeling like you get really easily angered at times. Um, do you have other symptoms or feelings that trigger you?
just people getting on my nerves. I mean, triggers me. People nagging and talking and, running their mouth triggers me. Um, if I can't go with my girl, to the store, that triggers me because why can't I leave? Why can't I go somewhere? Um, so I don't know. It's a lot of different things that because people always annoying me just doing stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, yeah, there's a lot of like rules and stuff placed on us, especially at your age, like especially being 16 in high school, like it seems like there can be so many different rules we have to follow. You know what I mean?
Right. I shouldn't have all of these extra rules. I am like almost 18 now, so it's just crazy how, all of a sudden now I can't do this and I can't do that, but you want me to do all of this other stuff. I'm not about to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so since you are getting closer to 18 and being an adult, like what would you like to see happen? What would you like to do?
Be out of this house so I don't have to deal with my grandmother and all of this extra. My mom talking crazy half the time. Just be out of this house.
Are there any like goals you'd like to accomplish in your life? Do you have any future dreams?
I mean, yeah, but right now I really don't even know what that is.
Okay.
I just know I want to be out of this house. I want to get a job and work and be out of this house so I don't have to deal with this nonsense.
Okay. Have you ever worked anywhere before?
Nope.
Okay. Do you know what kind of job you'd be interested in doing?
I mean, I don't know right now. I mean, I know the only job I can probably get is like fast food. So, I mean, but that's money right there. So,
Yeah. Yes. I'm my first job was definitely in the food industry. It seems like for young people like in high school, that's like the main area that there are jobs in. But okay, so getting back to some of these questions. Let me look at this really fast. All right, so we're gonna go through basically kind of like a risk and safety assessment. So the first category is talking about suicidality. Do you ever, are there times when you have any kind of like suicidal ideation? By that, I mean thoughts of like hurting yourself, killing yourself, not wanting to live anymore?
No.
Okay. What about others? Like you already reported, wanting to like hurt others. Are there times when you think like, I want to kill other people, I want to hurt them?
I mean, I don't want to kill nobody like that. I didn't even want to hurt that girl like that. I just wanted her to shut up. So me popping her just because she couldn't stand up and she fell back, that ain't on me.
Okay. What about substances? Do you ever like hang out with your friends? Do you drink alcohol? Do you use any recreational drugs?
I mean, I might smoke every once in a while with some of my friends, but um I don't really drink or nothing. I might smoke every once in a while.
And when you say smoke, do you mean like cigarettes? You mean
Marijuana.
okay? And you said what is every once in a while? Like how often?
Um Shoot, I wish I could do it every day, but maybe like every, I don't know, couple days a week.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's see. Are there any instances in your like tell me about your childhood and growing up. Let's just start there.
Mm, I mean, what about it? Would you want to know?
Anything that comes to your mind about your childhood?
I mean, my childhood was good, I guess. I don't remember nothing bad, really.
Okay. Are there like so what are some good memories that you have from childhood?
Just me and my mom and my sister just traveling to see family, just doing different things,
Okay.
or going to my aunt's house, my favorite aunt house, because I get to be with my cousin.
Okay. So you guys like spent a lot of time together when you were growing up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is that different than now? It sounds like your mom like works a lot and stuff. Do you still get to spend quality time with her?
I mean, she tried to on her days off. She would designate like, oh, we're gonna do a girls' day this day, or do every week she tried to do something. But she is at work most of the day because she works like a second shift, so I don't see her as much.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So do you have any experiences of like abuse in your childhood?
No.
Okay. Let's see. How in your family, how do your parents like discipline you and your sister?
Well, my dad is not even halfway there all the time, so he don't do nothing. And then my mom tried to ground me and say, I can't go anywhere, or take my phone or whatever from me, but that's usually it. And I still leave anyway, so.
Okay. And whenever you leave, does she know about it? Does she find out about it?
I mean, she finds out about it and she look for me until she find me. And I mean, I might come home and I might not. It just depends
Yeah.
on how I feel at that time.
Okay. I mean, do y'all have a way of it? So she just looks for you and finds you. Do y'all have a way of talking to each other, like a phone or?
I mean, she'll try to find me. If I don't have a phone, then she'll just call my friends or whoever phone number she got to try to see where I went, where I'm at, or whatever.
Mhm.
So
It sounds like she worries about you.
I'm sure she does if she don't know where I'm at.
Yeah.
But that's how I like it. You don't need to know where I'm at all the time.
Mhm. Okay. Let's see. So, so when is this court case that's coming up? Do you know when it is? Like the date?
It's coming up. I think they said like in the next 3 weeks or something.
Okay.
I
So
have
it's
to.
coming up pretty soon. And is there anything like that you need for this court case? Like, do you like do you know what's gonna happen or what it's
I
about?
don't know what's gonna happen at this one. They did like the arraignment and then set this court date. I don't know if they're just waiting to see what's going on with the girl or what.
Yeah.
But I
So
don't know.
if her parents are gonna like press charges or anything.
Well, they did, which is why we here now and having to go to this hearing.
Okay.
Um, because of her injuries or whatever. But so now we got to go back to court, I guess, to determine what exactly the charge is going to be. Or I don't know what the punishment, if I got to go back to juvie or what. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, you talked about going to juvie, having a parole officer. So like how many times or how long have when did you first like go to juvie? Like how old were you when you first started going?
I don't know. It was like a couple years ago. I was probably like 13
Okay.
the first time I went.
And why did you go for the first time? What was going on at that time?
A similar thing. I hit somebody at the school and they hurt themselves really bad. So
Okay. So you said it's same similar thing. You hit someone at school and they got hurt bad. Is that what you said?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the teacher had to get involved and all of that. Teachers always gotta get involved and put their nose and stuff. So
Okay. And what came out? So basically, you ended up going to juvie. How long were you in juvie for that one?
I was there for probably about a month or so. Then
What was that experience like for you?
I mean it was okay. It wasn't bad. I mean, obviously I didn't want to be there because I wanted to be at home, but um I mean it was cool because I had other friends in there. So
Okay. So you weren't like scared or anything going in?
I mean I was scared initially because I didn't know what to expect going in, but
Right.
once I got there it was fine.
Okay. So since that first incident, like when you were 13, has there been other times when you've had to go back to juvie or where you gotten in trouble where there was legal stuff involved?
Yep, I went back like 3 other times since then. Like one time I hit somebody with a pole. Another time, so then I was in juvie for like a couple months, like almost like the whole summer, and then another time, um, I think it was like a violation of my probation, so I ended up going back because they said I stole something from a store, but it was not me. So I had to go back for that violation. And then one other time, like me and this dude got into it, and I hit him with a chair, and so then now this time.
Mhm. Okay. And in all that, in all those times, has there been anyone that you have like connected with or felt like they were helpful for you while going through, these experiences?
I mean, I really don't deal with nobody. I mean, I talked to my cousin, and they came like because I had to go to stay in juvie like for a long time after I hit the dude with the chair. I was there like for the longest, and so they had a little get together for me to be able to see family before um I left. And so I was so excited to see my cousin when he came, and then his sister, because those like my favorite cousins. So I used to talk to them all the time, and I would tell them about stuff, but I didn't get to see them as often when I was out. So
Yeah. Okay. I got you. Well, I do feel like I've gotten a little more information from you. Um, at this point, is there anything that you feel like is important that you need to share with me that
no,
we haven't like really talked about?
no, I don't think so. Like I say, I don't know how this is going to help with all of this court stuff or why they think it's going to help, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would like to continue to work with you and, talk to you and kind of just be there with you through this process because I mean, you have a lot on your plate right now. You have a lot that you're dealing with, and I can see that. And I mean, I would like to hopefully come up with some goals that like we can work on together. You know what I mean? For your benefit. Because, we're here for you. I'm here for you. Um, so is there anything you can think of that you would like to work on? Because even though you might not want to be here, and I totally get that, if you got to be here anyways, if your parents are going to make you come, then why not let's just make the best of the time that we have together. So
hmm,
is there anything that you can think of that you might want to work on together?
nope.
No. Is there anything that you feel like could be improved in your own life?
Mm, I mean, it probably is, but nope, I can't think of nothing right now.
So everything's perfect. Everything's going great. Life's great. Life's perfect.
I mean, it ain't perfect, obviously, because I got to go to court. And you can't take that away. So,
Right. I can't take that away. No. But there's still things that we could work on. Changes aren't going to happen overnight, obviously. But, I hear you saying you don't want to have to go to court and deal with all this stuff. And all this stuff is, consequences of some of the actions that you were directly involved with, right? Like, even if it's other people coming at you, your behavioral reaction to them fighting or whatever is kind of what landed you in these consequences. So, I mean, I would like to, this is me though, and I want to see what your thoughts are about it, but I would like to see if we can work on other ways of dealing with these situations because they clearly are happening. They're going to happen time and time again, right? Like we can't control what other people are saying or doing towards us. We can only control how we're going to react to that. And your anger and everything you feel is a totally normal reaction to that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel that too at times. Absolutely. That's totally normal to feel that way. Um, but at the same time, it's how you deal with that feeling, or just maybe not reacting right away. You already said you're able to recognize when you get angry and upset and sometimes can just walk away. So I would like to help you work on figuring out a different way to deal with the fact when you become upset, angry, when you feel like you're about ready to fight someone. What do you think about that?
I mean, I guess.
Okay. Because the goal is to help you not have to keep going to dealing with these court stuff and these legal issues. And, I don't want you to have to go back to juvie. I'm sure you don't want to go back to juvie. That's not like, oh, hey, sign me up. Like, let's go to jail. That's not something that people just want to go to. And so hopefully the goal is to not have to, keep dealing with that. Because I want you to be successful in life in whatever you want to do. And I recognize that you're not really sure what you want to do, and that's totally fine. You're young and you have time to figure that out. But what I do want is to help you, be successful in whatever that is. And that can start right here between you and me. That can start with, whatever we decide, developing some other coping skills, some other ways of dealing with things when things happen in our lives. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I guess that's all right. Like you said, okay. If I gotta be here.
Right, we might as well make the best of it. And that's going to require your active participation as well as mine, and checking in with you every time we meet. So I think that I have most of the information I pretty much need to kind of get an idea of where we're going in the future, and just a little better understanding. And I hope that, as we meet and work together, that I can get to know you more fully and know your story a little more. Because I think that's important, and that you can get to know me too. Speaking of that, are there any questions that you want to ask me? Is there anything that you would like to know, or?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you came out today, even if your parents made you come. Because you definitely have that choice. We all have a choice. So I appreciate you being here today. And we will meet next week, I guess. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Well, all right. Then I guess I will see you next week, Carlise. If anything happens, feel free to reach out to me, okay?
Yeah.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.